Welcome back to Kali Linux Penetration Testing. We're now in section 5, and here we're going to talk about Wi-Fi access. In this section of this course, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to view SSIDs, and then we're also going to look into hidden SSIDs. We're going to then proceed on cracking passwords by using AirCrack, and then we're also going to look into how can we brute force different dictionaries using John the Ripper. Now in this video, viewing SSIDs, just like any other hacker, anybody that has something in mind, the first thing they need is a target. So our first goal, just like a real hacker, is to grab ourselves a target. Now we're going to do this by searching for any and all SSIDs in the area that we can find. Once we've found our target, then we're going to log on and attempt to brute force our way past the password. Now let's assume that for one reason or another, our target is their SSID is invisible or hidden. We want to discover how we can view any of those hidden SSIDs in the area. And then we can proceed on to hacking past those passwords as well. Now the first thing we can do is to view SSIDs or networks. It's a traditional way. Come up here in the right little bar, and then Wi-Fi not connected. And then we can come on, select network, or go to Wi-Fi settings. So let's select our network. Here we have a whole bunch of different SSIDs that we can look for. We can ping this one, or ping this one, or we got DirecTV AG Fire, that's a Fire Stick. Netflix living room, so somebody has Netflix in the living room. We have a bunch of different networks that we can use. We can try to connect to. So if we click on this, we can also see the strength and if it's password protected. So these ones up here are very strong, while these ones down here are not quite as strong, but we can still connect if we needed to. We have a couple of different options here. We have a Netflix living room, which is like almost barely there, and it's not password protected either. So that's something we can look into. So if you're looking for Wi-Fi access, you want to look for something that has great strength, like this one, and preferably without a password. But we need a password to get into that one. So let's go ahead and start learning how to connect some of the hidden SSIDs. Let's take a look at that right quick. So the first thing we want to do is open up Terminator, or Terminal. Terminator is a more fancy, elaborate version of Terminal. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Profiles, font. That should be big enough. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see if we have a Wi-Fi card enabled. You might have just installed Kali on a virtual box or maybe even on your laptop and don't know if you have Wi-Fi or not. So the best way you can do that is do Ifconfig. For those of you that are Windows users, it'd be Ipconfig, but we're in Kali Linux. So it's the same thing, just different abbreviation. So we can see we have our Ethernet, and we have our WLAN, which is our wireless. Now, another thing we could do is we could also do IWconfig, and this will tell us which one of our networking devices actually has wireless configurations in it. And we can see our WLAN 0 has plenty. Alrighty. So what we want to do now is we want to search for those hidden networks. So let's go ahead, and the first thing we want to do is ArioDump-ng and then the network name. Ours is WLAN 0. And now we have a whole bunch of different SSIDs that are popping up over here. We can see some of them are very similar to the ones that we're used to seeing already. Some of them may come up, like here's this one right here. Here's my Spectrum 5, my Charter Wi-Fi 5, wherever it went. We've got AT&T, we got whatever that one is, Netgear 89. We have a whole bunch of different ones that we can choose from now. And we have that open one right here, link 0, that could be the Netflix account we saw opened up. We got a bunch of different options here that we can choose from. So all we need to do now is just select our target. Mohouse 2.4. Anyway, so we have definitely an abundant supply of networks within this specific area. Now, for those of you that are wondering where I am not telling you. Next is we could go ahead and set up our computer to start processing some data. And we want to do that by using AirPlay. So in order to hack a password, the way we're going to do it here is we're going to need to have a network name. Oh look, FBI surveillance, I better get off of here. We're going to need the network name, and we want to see if we can't basically create a handshake by sending deauthentication attacks. So what we want to do here is we just kind of want to, take a look around, see which one of our targets that we're wanting to use, and go ahead and start grabbing that MAC address. Let's see here. What do we have going on? FBI surveillance. Sure, why not? So let's go ahead and copy that SSID right here. So we have that copied. Alrighty. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to use our AirPlay script. So we do AirPlay-ng. We're going to basically call the deauthentication by doing -0. Now you can set how many connections that it needs or how many attacks it wants to perform by saying like 30, 100, 50, 75, 25. It doesn't matter. Or you can leave it at 0 in order to perform it until it actually grabs that handshake. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to do -A to set the BSS ID, and we're going to paste that BSS ID right there. Now we're going to do WLAN 0. Right now what's going to happen is more than likely if you do just this one, just those arguments for this script, you probably won't have anything done with it. And that's because it's going to have issues on the channel, and it's going to tell us to do the ESSID instead of the BSSID. However, press the up button once, the up arrow key, and you do go in between the MAC and your network name, which is WLAN, and do -D, and then press enter. And now we're sending the deauthentication scripts to the network name that we've chosen. And eventually what'll happen if we do it right and there is somebody connecting to the network, what it's going to do is if there is like an Android or a tablet or a game console, whatever, connected to this specific network, what this is going to do is it's going to try to search on all of the different broadcasting channels it can, send a deauthentication to that specific device so that way it would reconnect itself back again in order to go ahead and basically say, okay, we have that handshake. We can see that there is a handshake taking place then. Once we have that handshake, then all we have to do is just crack that Wi-Fi password. So now we have this set up. Let's go ahead and move forward.